All right. Hello. So we're just going to give people a couple more minutes to come on in and then we'll get started. You shouldn't need any kind of equipment or anything, and we're going to start sitting on the floor. So if you want to come on down to the floor, that's a great place to start. All right. So it looks like everyone's muted. Courtney, can you hear me okay? My audio has been funny. Okay, awesome. Thank you. And people might join in while we're doing this, but that's okay. We'll get started because it's one. So we are going to start sitting on our feet like this. This is what we call hero pose. So you can sit on down on your feet like this. If this is uncomfortable, you can just sit crisscross applesauce. That's okay too. And today we are going to take our yoga to an imaginary beach. So we're doing beach yoga today. So the first thing we're going to do is our grounding exercise to kind of bring our attention all the way in and focused on our yoga. You can put your hands on your knees or slide them back on your thighs. And if you're comfortable closing your eyes, you can close your eyes, or you can just look at a spot on the floor in front of you. And we are going to do a special kind of breathing today called ocean breathing. So we are going to try to make the sound of the ocean with our breath. So we're just going to start by taking a couple regular breaths and notice how it feels. You want to make sure you're breathing all the way down into your belly and then getting rid of all that air every time you exhale or breathe out. So take a nice big breath in all the way to your belly and breathe out. Take a few more breaths on your own and notice how it feels and how slow you can breathe. And then we're going to start our ocean breathing. Okay, so when we do ocean breathing, we are trying to make the sound of the ocean. So the way that I do this is I imagine there's a mirror right in front of my mouth, and you're trying to fog up that mirror. So you're trying to send a lot of hot air onto the mirror to make it foggy. So you're going to breathe in and then fog up your mirror. And it should be a little louder than your normal breathing. And it starts to sound like waves when you do a few in a row. So you can breathe in. And if you want to make it sound even louder when you breathe in and out, you can push your tongue up to the top of your mouth, and that'll make it sound even louder when you breathe out. So awesome. So those are our ocean breaths. And if you want to try and keep breathing like that the whole time we're doing yoga, it's really, really good for you. And it kind of forces you to breathe a lot deeper than you normally would and to slow down your breathing because a lot of us breathe too fast. So we are going to start with our sun salutations. We're going to wake up the sun on our beach. This is how I like to start all my yoga practices. So we are going to stand up. You are going to plant your feet flat on the floor, kind of hip width apart, and you're going to make sure you're standing really, really firm in your feet. So kind of rock back and forth and make sure all two sides of your feet are on the floor, and your knees are a little bent, but your legs are strong, and you're looking up, and your hands are stretching down, and we are going to wake up the sun. So we're going to breathe in and reach up to the sky, And breathe out and reach all the way down to our toes. Now you're gonna make a wave, just like our ocean breath sounds like a wave. We're gonna make a wave with our body and just kind of look forward and lift up a little bit. And then breathe out and reach down again. And this time our wave is a little bit bigger because we're gonna reach all the way up to the sky. And down towards the ground. Awesome, reach up to the sky, breathe in. And our wave goes all the way down to our toes. Now our small wave, lift up halfway and reach down. All right, a big wave, reach up to the sky and then reach those hands down to the ground. Breathe in and reach up and breathe out and reach down to your toes. Now we're gonna do that small wave. Breathe in and lift up halfway and then wave it on down. Take a nice deep breath in and reach up, 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 and then reach your hands down. Awesome, so we're gonna add on this time. We're gonna breathe in and reach up and breathe out and reach down to your toes. We're gonna do our small wave, and then instead of coming up, we're gonna step back into a plank. Awesome. And you're gonna lower this plank down into a swimming pose. So all the way onto your belly. And reach your head up like you're looking above the water. And then bring it on back into downward dog. But today we're gonna call this sandcastle. So a nice pointy sandcastle. Try to stretch as much as you can. Wiggle out your legs a little. And walk forward. Awesome, big wave, reach up to the sky. And reach down to your toes. Small wave lifts us up halfway. Awesome, and into a plank. Yep, and then lower down to your belly to be a swimmer. Lift your head up above water. Awesome, and then back into our sandcastle pose. Take a couple big breaths here. See if you can make them sound like those ocean breaths. And then walk your feet forward. We're gonna do one more sun salutation. So take your big wave all the way up to the sky. And reach down to your toes. Our small wave lifts us halfway up and down. Step back into plank and lower down into your swimmer pose. Reach your head up above the water, look around. Awesome, and back into sandcastle. All right, and we are gonna walk our feet up between our hands. And we are going to, we just worked really hard on those sun salutations. So we're gonna take a rest in our beach chair. So reaching down, you're gonna start to bend your knees like you're sitting back into a chair. And then you're gonna lift your arms straight up over your head. And we're gonna sit here in our beach chair and we're gonna listen to the sound of the ocean. If this is really hard, you can put your hands on your hips or at the middle of your body. And I know I said we were gonna relax in our beach chair, but this is kind of a lot of work. If you need to make it a little bit easier, you can straighten your legs. If you wanna make it harder, your beach chair can be lower to the ground. All right, and when you need a break, you can reach down towards your toes and stretch it out and shake it out. Maybe run your fingers along the sand and the water, just kind of bobbing back and forth. All right, and we're gonna sit in our chair one more time. So we're gonna drop down into our chair. And when you're ready, you can reach your arms up towards the sky. And try really hard to relax here, even though it's not easy to hold. Imagine you're watching the ocean. Awesome, and reach down towards your toes. Relax here for a second. we are going to be a jellyfish. So we're gonna stay in that forward fold, and you can bend your knees if you need to. And jellyfish are super floppy, so we're trying not to hold on to any of our muscles too much, okay? Awesome. And our jellyfish is just gonna sway from side to side. So you can walk your hands to one side, and then the middle, and then the other side. Awesome. And our jellyfish is just kind of going wherever the water takes him. All right, we're gonna walk to each side one more time. All right, and then we're gonna walk our feet out wide. All right, and we're gonna be a starfish. So each hand is one of the starfish's arms, and your legs are the starfish's arms, and your head is the other arm. So you're gonna stretch your head forward as much as you can, try to make your back super flat and straight, kind of like a table, but with really wide legs because we're a starfish. Awesome. Whoa, I see a flat starfish. Nice job. All right, and when you're ready, we're gonna come on down to our hands and knees, and then push up into our sandcastle pose again. So sandcastle pose, with our tail being the point of the sandcastle. Nice, and you want your back really flat. Awesome, and you can lift up one leg to make a flag.
My socks are so slippery.
Awesome, and you're gonna take that leg that's acting like the flag and you're gonna step it up between your hands, and we're gonna come up into surfer pose. So you're gonna stretch your arms from side to side because they're helping you balance. And imagine your legs are on a surfboard and you're riding a big wave. Awesome. And maybe you're moving back and forth a little bit. You can kind of wave your arms from side to side. And then our wave is gonna get super rough and our surfer kind of loses his balance. And we're gonna come up and lift that back leg up and reach your arm down towards the ground. So you should have one leg up, one arm up, and try to hold that pose. Imagine you're still on your surfboard, but you almost fell off. All right, awesome. And reach your leg down.
I fell off.
Nice. And then hands down, back to our sandcastle pose. All right, so sandcastle pose. Now you're gonna take whatever leg you didn't lift up last time for your flag and you're gonna make another flag. Nice job. And you're gonna step that foot all the way up between your hands and we're gonna do a surfer on the other side. So come on up to surf pose. Nice. And maybe our surfer reaches one way and the other. Awesome. I see some good surfing out there. And then our surfer loses his balance and he's gonna step forward, lift that back leg up. Oh, and then step down, back to surfing pose. And then cartwheel your arms to the ground. Come on back to sandcastle. Awesome, so we're gonna put our knees down and sit down for 1 second. We are going to be a crab in the waves. So to be a crab, we're gonna start with our feet flat on the floor in front of us and our hands just behind our tail. And you're gonna lift up like a crab. Awesome, and you're a little crab and you're walking along and a wave comes and it pushes you back between your arms. And then you get back to your original spot. Awesome, and you're hanging out, looking up at the sun, and another wave comes, and you push back. Awesome. So you can ride the waves like a crab for a few more breaths on your own, or you can just hang out and be a crab. Maybe you lift one leg up and the other one. And our last wave comes. And whew, that was a lot of work. All right, we are going to be a turtle now. So put your feet flat in front of you again. And you're gonna kind of walk your feet side to side. You're gonna make your turtle shell with your legs. So when you're ready, you're gonna put your hands under your knees and you're gonna start to slide your arms forward. Awesome. So your arms are trying to poke out from the sides of your legs like a turtle's arms poke out from his shell. And you can keep your head forward, or your turtle can go inside its shell. And you're gonna see how far forward you can get and how far to the sides you can make your hands go. And if this is too hard, you can just reach for your toes. But I think most of us can probably reach under our legs. Awesome, and take some nice deep breaths here. All right, and you're gonna walk your turtle arms back in. And you can bring your legs to the middle and we're gonna come forward onto our hands and knees and then back into our sandcastle pose. And we are gonna turn our sandcastle pose into dolphin pose. And dolphin pose is just like sandcastle pose, except for you drop your elbows to the ground. Awesome. And it's really good if we can hold this for a few big breaths because it's a big stretch. And then you can come back to our sandcastle pose. And we're gonna do one more pose and then we'll close and we're gonna do a seagull pose. So you're gonna lift up one leg and you're gonna bring it forward, but this time we're gonna put our leg down on the ground, not just our foot. So you want your knee on the ground. Awesome. Yep, and this is our seagull pose. This is our seagull wing. And if you want to, you can stretch forward. You can put your head down. And then walk back up to your hands and take that leg back to sandcastle. And we're just gonna do the other side. So lift up your other leg and bring it forward and put your knee flat on the ground and your shin bone on the ground. And just like we did before, you're gonna start to walk forward and really stretch. You can put your head down. All right, and from here, we're gonna bring our hands back. And we don't have to go back to sandcastle this time. We can just kind of sit down and roll around to crisscross applesauce. If you want to finish laying on the ground, that's a really great resting pose. So you can just lay flat on your back, or you can do crisscross applesauce. And I'm going to read us a guided imagery. So you're gonna picture what I'm reading in your head, and you can close your eyes or look at a spot in front of you. And we are going to imagine that a boat came to pick us up from our beach. So imagine you are on a boat. What kind of boat is it? A sailboat? A motorboat? A pirate ship? Imagine you go for an adventure on your boat. You can feel the wind on your face and in your hair. You can hear water splashing against the boat. You feel safe, relaxed, and happy. Now imagine you see land in the distance. It is a small island. Imagine you travel there and drop your anchor. This is your very own island for you to explore. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you smell? What do you taste? How do you feel? Now imagine you find a comfortable resting spot on your island, maybe under a palm tree or in some soft sand. Feel your body relax into your resting spot. You are safe here. Everything is just right. When you're ready, imagine you get back into your boat and travel home. But remember, you can come to your own island anytime you wish by just imagining. And that is the end of our yoga class. And at the end of class, we say namaste to each other. And it means that I see all of the hard work that you did and you see the hard work I did. And it shows respect. So I say namaste. Awesome. Good job today, guys.